Okay. Pisces. That's not first. Let me get these stones out for you. Ooh, clear quartz. Now that's the rough. Okay. Let's see what the tumbled stone is calling for you to use. Root chakra. That one's third eye there, that clear quartz. The fog is parting. And then we have the solar plexus, sacral chakra, I'm sorry. Sacral. All right. Much like Libra, don't tell anyone. I want to see a second layer. We got the heart chakra. Clear quartz, third eye. You're getting really clear about your foundation. Seeing what you love with renewed vision, clear vision, but also being clear about what you love and why. And not just love, like, it's not a, what I was getting before I pressed play, press record was like, all's fair in love and war. And I was like, all's fair in war. But when it comes to love, there's certain things that just don't fly. So then here's the lapis lazuli with the throat chakra. And I feel that you're going to come to a place where you can actually speak about what you desire, versus being in a moment where you have to, like, a decision is made or something is acted upon, and you having to counteract it or whatnot. You're getting to a place where you're speaking first, and then because you're standing on what you love, the things that you love will follow suit, because it's not coming from a place of I think at one point you may have felt like the things that you wanted come from a place of greed in comparison to other people's needs, because it seems like their needs were just so much more complicated, or it was layered. And it's like, okay, well, what I want is simple, but what they need is more, there's more steps to what they actually need. What I need is simple, but what they need is a lot more complicated. There's parts and pieces, and this is contingent upon that. So they must need more attention, or they must need more of my support, or what have you. But when it comes to your needs, as basic as they are, basic needs to survive, to thrive, to actually, they're very, very simple. Not basic in the way of where we're saying basic now, as a slang term, Urban Dictionary type shit. Basic is like remedial or mundane, or it's just very, very simple. You need someone who's attentive, or you need people in your environment to actually see what you're doing, or voice, or allow you the space to use your voice when it does come to your desires. It's like, as soon as you speak on something that you need, and not just a trivial want, it's a need, it's a necessity, then it's, well, I need this, and I need this, and I need this, and then you can get that. And it's like, that's not how it's supposed to work. It's like, if other people's needs are getting met by you, and your simple needs aren't getting met by anyone, it's like, how much more can you need of me, because there won't be anything left. Because my simple, basic needs to live, to remember that I'm alive, they're not getting met. Because people who are alive, they have human interaction, or they have human touch, they have some type of affection, they have some type of and it's not just in that way. It's like speaking on the phone, and that's a part of socializing, you know what I mean? But there are complaints, or there's issues, or there's something. It's like, damn, my basic need to be social and to exchange contact verbally with another person, to hear them, to have that part of me satisfied, is not being satisfied. It's something very basic. It's like, it puts a tug on you. It puts some kind of it's weird. It really is weird how this is showing up here. So that's what you're using now. You're getting to a place where you can actually voice what you're desiring or what you're needing. And it's not coming from a selfish place. It's coming from a place that you haven't even really shared with people. And that's the thing, because you hadn't voiced it for a long time, and you just assumed that people knew this is basic shit. They should be giving it to me. No. Now you're knowing that you have to use your voice. They can't read your mind, Professor X. You're going to have to voice this in order to have it met. But on another note, you're getting very clear about where love has always been, how it was given when you needed it and didn't have to ask. It is getting to be very clear. This root chakra with this clear quartz is telling me that you know. This is why your outer world is not matching your inner. There's some discrepancy here. Hold on. Scam likely. There's a discrepancy here, because where you are is not where the love is remembered to be. Your root chakra, you know love. You know, you have a sense of what it is because it's been shown to you. It's been given. It's been provided. That is root chakra shit. It was in the form of safety. It was in the form of security, stability. It was in the form of physical interaction, physical touch. Like, so you know what it is. It's not that you never had it. It's that nothing in your current environment is providing that sense of foundational love in action. It's an action. It's a verb now. It's action. Nothing has provided this sense of love that you know in your foundation. Something that you value is not being expressed in your present moment, in your present environment, in your day-to-day, in your heart space. You're very clear. This is a very amplified, vulnerable state. It's to the point, it's like your heart is like screaming for this, and not in desperation, but it's like that's where you're going to have to pull the strength in order to voice it. We're not seeing the solar plexus here. So there's a bit of courage. There's a bit of you're gonna have to talk yourself into, like, coach yourself. You're really gonna have to coach yourself into getting up the nerve where you felt like you shouldn't have to ask, you shouldn't have to speak on it. You're gonna have to. It's asking you. You can feel it, like in the center, in like right in your heart space. You know, you have 4 chambers of the heart, but even energetically, there are 4 portions of the heart: the lower heart chakra, the higher heart chakra, the masculine heart chakra, the feminine heart chakra. There are 4 aspects energetically to this heart space. So there has to be you know, on the lower heart chakra, that would be, to me, it's like things that you find enjoyment in, or you get enjoyment in, and it's just because it exists, like plants, being out in nature, being at the sea, being at the beach, that leisure, it brings you a sense of love, it brings you a sense of comfort without it having to change or actually give you anything other than what it is. And then you have the higher heart chakra, that is an engagement type of, it requires a response from your environment. And when it comes to the masculine and feminine heart chakra spaces, that too has to be in balance. It's like you want your heart space to be complete, because there is a deficiency in the reception of the type of love that you're actually receiving. And even you being Neptune ruled, it's in retrograde. You're knowing that you can't be in this headspace about what love is. Now it needs to be physical. Now you need to see it. Now you need to see what it can do. And this is a change of pace, but it's the one thing that's grounding you, that's bringing you back down to earth, which is where you are. So if people aren't energetically or telepathically on your level, they will never hear what your needs are. They will never intuit it. They will never know. They don't know themselves to this respect, because you're anticipating of others, conscientious of others, and you have this sense about you. They wonder how you do it, but they don't care to ask. They don't care to understand. They almost assume that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing, when you do it because you're anticipating their needs. You can read it, you can feel it, and that's what you've been acting on. But now it's time for you to actually tell them what you need. It's like a parent to a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what your child needs because you're the parent, and you know they need to eat, they need to be changed, they need to be clean, they need to just those basic needs. They need that interaction, they need that skin to skin contact. There's certain things that babies need, and the adult knows how to give it. So on the other side, when the child starts getting older and they expect this treatment because it's something you've been giving all this time, now you need something very specific. And it could be, sit down and have a conversation with me, or I don't know, it could be anything. So for in that regard, for a parent to have needs and ask their child for something, it's like, you know, it may seem as if they can't meet these needs because of the age difference or the maturity difference, when in actuality you're asking for something very simple. Hey, come sit with me for a second while I read this book, or, you know, and those aren't real life examples. What I'm saying is, you're in a different maturity space when it comes to being a supporter or being a provider in a way that they don't know they're being provided for. When it's gone, it's fucking gone. And that's when they feel the deficiency. So asking for your basic needs to be met, it would seem so difficult for you. But at the same time, it's like, that's the only thing that you can do. It's primary purpose is what I got, but what I see is primary colors. Underneath, we have leadership. You are going to have to take the lead. And I knew that the solar plexus was not here, but I knew that you needed to act. We have 16's rebirth. Happy ending. 93. Self-love. 61. This is what's happening. Rebirth, self-love. 16 and 61. They're inverted. So, like I was saying, it's switching up what you were doing, where you were anticipating other needs and not voicing your own. Now you're going to have to voice yours, and they're going to have to put in some type of effort, some type of, you know what I mean? Because this is martyrdom. This is you giving, and you don't have nothing else left. You don't even give to yourself in the way that you're giving to other people. Not with the basic needs. Like, you can't, there's certain things that you need other people to play a part of, especially if they're in your life. Like, so you're not going out here asking for it, but at least it could come from the people that you're giving it to. At the very least. We have root chakra and we have throat chakra. Those two are going to have to work together. This is what I'm saying. You're going to have to start now voicing it, because it is of value to you. It is something that you need. I'll never forget. There was a snowstorm when I was back home, and I was snowed in at work. It was a Walmart, 24 hours or whatnot. And I worked the day shift. So when I saw everybody was going home and people from the night shift, which I used to work overnight, so I was pretty familiar with what needed to be done, I volunteered to stay. And there was a lady who came in with a tote full of fish, koi fish. And the lights had gone out, and it was so very cold. So by the time she got them there, able to hook up the system to keep the water flowing and give them human touch. Some of them looked like they were on the verge of dying. And me and my great friend Maggie, she decided to stay overnight with me. But she and I we were massaging these fish and giving them that touch, and they were becoming more and more lively, and we were petting them. They were about this long. And to see them flipping over, like they needed warmth, they needed comfort. They were in a state of shock. And this rebirth, with the energy of the 16, the tower, your heart space has taken a fucking blow. And it has, like, been busted wide open. I'm getting that visual when Pennywise, when they had the slingshot and the stone hit him in the head and the shit just, like, busted open. But it's like, now you are very fucking clear. And it's clear to the point your heart is going to speak for itself. You may blurt out things, or you may snap, or you may go in on someone who has been assuming you were always supposed to be in this position to give them X, Y, and Z because they need it, when it's really they want it. It's not a need, but you've anticipated their needs, and now you're realizing that there's a bit of selfishness here, that they'll say need when it's really want, but what you need you can't ask for. So there's this light switch, light bright light bulb moment where it all connects, and you know you're being the power is being lended to you through the crown. This isn't something that, it's like your higher spiritual knowing, your higher self, whatever God you pray to, the cosmos, etc. They know it's time. They know that you need this. And because you decided on it very clearly. This pink color in the middle, to me, that's a refined heart space, because green and pink do represent like an AKA. You know what I'm saying? They represent the heart space. Individuality is coming here too, and I believe that you must have picked it up. You've been picking it up through the music. You're resonating with certain music that is about having your needs met, or it's aligning because now you don't just hear the lyrics, you understand them because you're living them. So you are going to have to take the lead. Individuality is beneath leadership, right? And it's telling you you're going to have to put this shit into action. So this courage, this burst of energy that's coming through on everything you love is like, it's coming down. It's coming down for you to use it. And then when the moment's over, it's over. But by then, when the smoke clears, everybody is going to understand where the fuck you're coming from. Because you've had to use the energy that was given to you, even if momentarily, but it has a long lasting effect. Like, you'll never really, until you develop your own courage to get to the point as soon as possible, you're not the most direct sign. Your vocals are not going to project in this way. You're being given a burst of energy to clear this and knock through it. And then it's like, when it's done, it's done. And they're all going to be an understanding of where the fuck you stand, what the fuck you want, and what the fuck you need. You might cut somebody out. You really might go off. Because your heart space is like, it's like rubbed raw, if I can say it like that. The blockage. But it also, when I see the Eight of Swords, if I see the Eight of Swords pop out first, I'm stopping the reading. I'm stopping the reading because it's like, don't go any further. It's almost like you're not ready to see what this is about, or you're not ready to do what's required of you to amend this. So I had a stack of cards here that came out. This card is face down. It is Ten of Wands. This is what people don't see. But this is really what you feel. And it's like you're looking at yourself. You're still in the game. You're still doing whatever. You're still chugging along and doing all these things. But this is how it feels to you. But this is what you show. That you're not a quitter. You don't give up. I'm still in it. Whatever. And it's like, if anybody should carry the burden, it should be me. Because I know I can do it. Because if I left it up to them to do this, they would fold, or it would be too hard for them. And because I have such endurance with the hardest shit, I might as well. No, you don't. You know, you don't have to. So that's a look at yourself. You're finally starting to see yourself being overwhelmed. It's like an outside perspective. Like you know that you're taking on too much. You know that it's just too heavy. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is, and the Six of Cups. This is family. But also, I mean, you see two people here. You see this person sitting here. And you see these two people here. These two people could very well be these two people. So from child to adult, right? And still in a state of giving, in a state to give. This is like you sitting on the outside looking in. Like, if this shit go on till I'm in my old age, what would it amount to? What will it really be? It's like you can almost see yourself in this state looking back, like, what the fuck have I done? Or what have I given? What have I received? Like, is this what my life is really about? Like, this shit crazy. It's crazy. But even still, you're sitting here remembering the times when it began. How in the beginning, here's another 10. This is alluding to this 10 of Pentacles. Hindsight is 20/20. So you're sitting here and looking, and you're like, damn, I remember when I first started giving in this way, when I first started catering to and anticipating needs and being the one to hero a situation, because I just knew what was necessary, or I knew I had to give up X, Y, and Z in order for this other person to feel comfortable or be happy. And you're in full awareness. It's just now you're recognizing it. It's like, for a long time, you didn't want to see it. You didn't want to see it. Your blockage, your ignorance, and you running away from it. You didn't want to see it. So this wasn't imposed on you. This is allowance. Underneath that Eight of Swords is the Ace of Wands. This is that burst of energy that flows through with this rebirth card. And it leads you straight to the Three of Wands. Like, I know there's more. I know I deserve more. This isn't a situation where they just keep doing me wrong. They don't see what I'm doing for them. They just take advantage. This isn't that. And that isn't this. This is, I was fully aware the whole time what I was doing. And even as it kept going and I thought it would get better, this is still what I'm doing. And you're seeing yourself in this state from that type of perspective 20, 30, 50 years from now. What the fuck will my life be like if I keep doing this? Now you're starting to get it. Now you're starting to see I can't do this shit like this no more. This shit is weighing on me so heavy that it should have put you in the ground. That Ace of Wands was the final burst of energy that you needed to see yourself. Carrying everybody's obligations as your own, or putting obligations on yourself that didn't even belong to you. It was like, well, this is what they say they need, because they're screaming so loudly, or their energy is so demanding. Instead of having the conflict, instead of speaking up for thyself, it's like, fuck it. This is what I have to do because this is what they say they need. You just started doing it from very early on. So by the time you get older, that's what they expect. That's what you build a foundation on. But your foundation now, you're getting clear. Like, I did that because that was expected of me. And this is what I anticipated they needed. That's why I've done this. But that's what you built all of this on. So your Ten of Pentacles is your Ten of Wands. Each and every single year. This is like 10-year cycle shit. But individuality would be an 11. You see? You know what is a 10? Surrender. You gotta let this shit go. I mean, it's your burden, but it's not your burden to bear. It's the one you chose. Why would you allow your life to be this hard? Why would you allow it to be this difficult? This is how you presented yourself to others. This is how you presented yourself to your family. This is how you presented yourself to people that you consider to be a part of your foundation or your stability. So even if it was workplace type of shit, you're carrying traits from childhood into the workplace and wondering why you're not getting where the fuck you need to be. Like, people are just, they don't appreciate you, right? You don't appreciate you to a certain extent. Because in appreciation of yourself, you would at least make sure that your basic needs are met. So this was irresponsible on your part and their part. There's self-love is here. This is saying that this needs to be exercised. You're having a rebirth in that. Three of Swords. When you come to the realization, like, damn, it really does hurt to think, but there's that sense of clarity. So it's like, shit. Like the big comfy couch when Lunette is like, who made this big mess? And the camera just zooms into her face and she's like, oh shit, that was me. And then she has to clean up her mess in 60 seconds, but she does it. But that clock stretch, though, it does take time. It does take time. This Ten of Pentacles, I'm getting Wheel of Fortune vibes. And, oh, shit. That came out of nowhere. And it will come out of nowhere. You have opportunity here coming through. Because once you get through this, it's like a membrane. Once you burst through it, it's like you can't unsee what you see, especially about yourself and how this shit has gone on. And it's like, that's not who the fuck I am. I don't want anybody to get it twisted. Like, I'm not your fucking doormat. I'm not required to take care of you. I am not required to meet all of your needs, and I'm not happy. You can't even see that I'm unhappy because you want what you want. You need what you need. But what I need doesn't really matter. You really don't know me. You don't know the core essence of my being. You don't know what I need down to my core to even begin. And so there's some cycles coming to an end, but also like a blow. It just blows. Like, this does give me eruption type of vibes, where when the fucking volcano erupts and there's fire and debris spewing everywhere. I mean, you do get some fine ass black obsidian from a nice ass volcano eruption, but it causes a lot of damage in its wake. So to some people it will be damaging, and then other people can see the benefit of this type of eruption. It will hit certain people very close to home, and hopefully trigger their own introspection, because he just reminds me of the Hermit, straight up. Once the Hermit finishes doing what he's supposed to fucking do, or seeing what he needs to see, it's almost like through that fucking star lantern, it's like he can see his beginning, middle, and end. And this is the view that he gets that allows him to come back down off the mountain and be like, okay, I know how I need to get there. I know what I need to do. I know which path to take. That Three of Wands, you may be setting out. You may be headed off in the name of self. Like, I have to do this for myself because I know nobody else is going to do it for me. And the things that I really need, nobody here they're not going to provide it or give it to me. So I have to be in a position to receive this. I have to put myself in positions to receive. And this is motivating that. Because to feel this overwhelmed when it comes to this Ten of Pentacles, it makes no sense. Because that's the one place you should feel safe. Oh, my land. Do you see what I see? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Hermit. He's seeing all of this. Same cloak. He left when his hair was still dark. He went up on the fucking mountain and saw what he needed to see, which is himself, herself, later on. How things will be if things continue on this trajectory. Like, what would it really amount to? This is who I've been showing up as. And I get this Knight of Pentacles where you kind of pump the brakes. It's like I've been putting in effort and action towards what though? You really start to ask, like, I've been efforting, and why is there glitter on my couch? I've been efforting and doing, and for what? Towards what? What is it yielding? What is it? Now you're thinking practically. Now you're back down to earth. Now you see this Scorpio Virgo energy here. So it's very invasive, the detailed look that you're taking into this situation. It started a long time ago. This is why it's still expected of you. And where did you get this notion though? Who gave it to you? Your family? Because if so, then you're going to follow their trend. If they have a trend of bullshit, you're going to be in a trend of bullshit. If you have a trend of abuse, there's going to be a trend of abuse. If you're in a trend where one parent is always like so overwhelmed that they self-medicate, and then they end up having health issues, and then they need to be taken care of for the rest of their life because they've done so much damage to themselves trying to meet their own needs instead of other people seeing that their needs aren't being met. you're gonna be in a trend like that, where that last motherfucker, you're gonna be in a wheelchair, you're gonna be on dialysis, you're gonna be, high blood pressure this, and failing organ that. And this is not talking on to people. What I'm saying is, these certain things that are lacking do cause emotional duress within the human body, and they do cause organ failure, deficiencies. Things just don't pump right no more. And it definitely is giving me the heart itself. When it comes to your blood, that is your blood, your lineage, blood disorders, lineage. Your endocrine system starts to shut down. This is the network of hormones. This is sending, and those are emotional points. Your heart isn't a part of the endocrine system, but the cardiovascular system is so vast, it has been separated. But the heart is an endocrine organ. So are reproductive systems. So erectile dysfunction, issues with your freaking, beans and hot dog, you know what I'm saying? Or your ovaries, you know what I'm saying? Anything to do with that. Because you do have solar plexus here. You do have root chakra here. Also, thyroid. That is in the throat chakra. But you got like the hippocampus. You got things in the brain that are aligned with this fucking endocrine system. Pancreas. Diabetes. Come on, man. There's too much riding on your health emotionally. Because it will affect your mental. It will affect your physical. I'm so fucking serious when I say this shit'll kill you. This shit'll kill you. Slowly but surely. You will die before you were intended. All by how you're allowing others to show up in your environment. How you're treating others. Putting them up here and keeping yourself down here. No wonder you feel like you don't have X, Y, and Z. Or, you always have this sense of needing to do better or needing to do more. Or this is what people are asking of you, and you learned this trend a long time ago. Knight of Cups. What is the Knight of Cups about to do, though? And that's going to be the last card I pull. You had to pump brakes. But I feel like you pump brakes on your own progress. It's over the Three of Wands. You still in the Eight of Swords, and you about to take off. You're about to take off. That Seven of Swords is, you've been evading, being avoidant to this truth for a very long time. And once you understand that it's you against you, when you start to see that it was you're watching yourself carry the burden, and now you can't unsee it. It's like you developed into this type of person. So you're going to have to undo and clear the air. Air this bitch out. Like, ooh. Four of Pentacles. This don't feel like you. The Four of Pentacles is someone else. But they standing firm on their foundation. At this point, they're guarded. They're not even giving up on nothing. We have Magician. Hit the ground reversed. I wasn't supposed to be pulling no more cards for y'all. Okay. Death. Then I say this. Okay, we got this rebirth card here. Five of Pentacles. And I do see the Empress here. Okay. So, if you have an Empress now, this is what's transpiring. It could be the Empress that is the female, or the person being catered to in the situation, or receiving all the benefit in this situation. It could be your mother in this situation, or just it could be a female influence, period, that brought on this type of behavior in this situation. You're having to detach from that. That's what's, I'm seeing why you have to pump the brakes, because the actions that you have been taking were influenced by someone else. Now, in the event that this is what is sparking the change, we have root and heart chakra showing up here. The foliage, the greenery around her, and the red that's all, it's all around her. White garb, pomegranate. She's very fertile, right? Cool. But something has happened. Mentally, it's still causing issues with the heart. So you replay these thoughts over and over and over in your mind, and you just don't want to see what you need to see about the situation, where you have been versus where it's taking you. Ultimately, the decision is having to be made. And I feel that this Empress is holding close to their vest. They're not really allowing it now. They're not allowing it. They don't know if it's for better or for worse. If you're actually trying to use your energy to cause harm, or to actually, you know what I'm saying? It's like this person is coming with something to give, but is it worth it? Is it worth me loosening my grip on what I have? That's worth my effort. That's worth my time. That's worth my, will I give up one of these pentacles to receive whatever's in this cup? Because it's not the Knight of Pentacles that's coming, like I have another pentacle for you. Nah. The efforts have been given elsewhere. Now it's like I have this emotion for you. My heart is all open and this and that. This Empress ain't trying to hear that shit. Not trying to hear it. This is what they perceive will be the next step if you're allowed in, because you have a you have a knowing of how other people have depended on you and then become codependent on you. And this is exactly why you may be drawn to this person with the Four of Pentacles. And it's like, I need something solid. I need to come back down to earth. And I know that you have a sense of stability. So let me bring what I have, which is this Knight of Cups. But you're not bringing the Knight of Pentacles. You're not actually bringing, you see the opportunity, and that's what you're acting on. Like, it's like, that's what you're going towards, but you're not bringing Pentacles. So this person is going to feel that if I allow this person in, they're going to do exactly to me what other people have done to them, which is take, and take. You had this Ten of Pentacles here, and you pump the brakes. So this person is not perceiving you as actually adding anything of value to them. They're still going to feel a sense of loss. They're going to feel like they're taking a hit with you coming in, because you've overgiven in other situations. Now you don't want to give what they need. You're not even wanting to know what they need because you know what you need. If that makes sense. So you need to tell the people in your environment what the fuck you need, so it can free up the type of energy, effort, whatever that you have been overgiving. Now you need to dial that shit back. That shit got to go. The shit got to end. But I still don't feel like this shit gonna end well. I really don't. Like, it's too little too late. You've allowed this shit to transpire for so long. So now when you go to this Empress, because other Empresses have imposed this type of whatever, these habits, these patterns, it's like when you encounter another Empress that is more aligned with the type of, has a different mothering style, has a different nurturing style, has a different business style, who has a different growth style altogether, who knows nature and nurture, they can see what's coming towards them in this cup. They don't even have to drink the contents to understand you're not bringing me And it's not 4 of Pentacles to the 6 of Pentacles, it's 4 to the 5. This would be letting someone in, Knight of Cups, and having an additional mouth to feed. This would be 4 of Pentacles, letting in the Knight of Cups, and now money is tighter because there's more of a financial burden. This is something that this Empress has perceived. This Empress has been in 5 of Pentacles before to understand why 4 of Pentacles is necessary. You have pumped the brakes on effort in all ways, but the ways that you need. It's like you've given all your pentacles here, so you have no more pentacles to give, which is time, effort, action. You're not doing that for this person in the 4 of Pentacles, which I knew wasn't you. I knew it wasn't you. But now you're seeing clearly. Okay, now you're able to see. But you're still not in a place to actually act. You may be able to stand up to people in your environment, but on these other ventures, with the way that things were going and running, having to go back and to amend the behavior, to amend the actions that have already been taken or the lack thereof, the jury's out on that. Because this person doesn't know if you have the Hermit energy. So you've gotten this influence to be able to see, right? But they don't know if you're going to use this Magician energy in the upright or the reverse. They don't know if you're going to manipulate events to the way that you perceive others in your environment. Now that you can see clearly is exactly how this person perceives you. Greedy, inconsiderate, careless. It's like, so at the same time, this 16 and this 61, where you're having rebirth, another person is administering self-love. Empress. Behind that is the fucking King of Swords. Like, they're very sure, and they will voice that to you if there's a conversation. You're just now getting where they have already had to be in order to, and maybe that's why I was getting Wheel of Fortune vibes. It has a lot to do with karma. You picked it up from your family. It's a family trait to do this, to overgive to the point where you don't want to give no more and you don't want to be around nobody. You feel like you've given too much and no people are not meeting your needs in return. So it's like, fuck. Where did I learn this from? Why are people taking advantage of me? Why are my needs not being met? While you've been doing that to other people, in the energy of being selfish or in the energy of being like those people who have done it to you. You don't see that part. You don't see that part. You're blind to it. You don't see it, and you haven't wanted to. You've been evading the truth of your own actions because you were seeing them like, why do I keep going through this? Why do I keep being in situations like this? You looked at everything else but yourself. You looked at how it affected you, but not how you were affecting others. The ones that don't ask you for anything, those are not the ones that you're giving to. You're giving to the people who are demanding of and need when it's really want. You're meeting all these wants and you have no needs met. And where you have been getting your needs met is the last place you'll give your time. So this is a product of these very actions you've been doing for a very long time. And only now will you be able to see it. In order to change the course, Wheel of Fortune, that 10 energy of what has been going on and what will go on from this point. 10 reduces to a 1. So does 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 0 is, 1 plus 0 is 1. And we're getting that ace equivalent. I don't know. I don't know how you're going to do this, but that 6-pointed star, these 6-pointed stars, I mean, it says happy ending here, right? But you're going to have the courage to actually use all of this solar plexus based energy in order to manifest. These are mirrored. This is earth-based, and Mercury rules an earth-based planet, an earth-based sign. So you're gonna have to use all of what you've been learning. Like, you're gonna have to actually put it into action. You're gonna have to make sure that this Knight of Pentacles starts to move, or you will get stagnant and stay in this Eight of Swords. You will deceive yourself into staying there. You will convince yourself that's the best place for you. You're not logical at all. But with this retrograde, hopefully this can be brought in and you can really see it. Details, that is. The details. Because this is the only way that you gain the leadership. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it there. These fucking readings, they run so long when I'm at home. I don't like it. Take forever to upload. Hopefully not, though. I will see y'all later.